Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Train Man, and welcome to... Why do I keep saying that? Why do I keep starting the intro like it's the weekly timetable? I did that for, yesterday's video, too? Jeez. Maybe I should just do the welcome to thing. Whatever. Hey, what's going on, guys? Me, Train Man, and we're back in TRS 2006, the Zombie Train, otherwise known as. And I need to flatten out all this land so that it's useful. Had a couple ideas for how I'm gonna run things. Run things along the rest of the route, that is. We're gonna, instead of having another mountain on this side, I'm gonna have it be more of a plateau and then turn into more of a hill. This area down there is gonna stay pretty low, so that's not at river height, but it's going to be close to it. Of course, there is going to be a slope up so that the river is embedded in something and not floating in midair. And then we're going to have this massive cliff over here with the mountain, which is just basically going to serve as a scene change for going to Caps. And once again, I really am not in the position to answer a phone call. So let's put that away. And let's get to work flattening this land. There's a lot of land to flatten. I wish I could zoom out more. One of the things I always wished about this game is that I could zoom out more. The opposite of which is true in Kerbal. I can zoom out. I can zoom out way more than I need to. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't know why you'd need to zoom out that far in certain cases on that game. By the way, I am leaving a little edge, and that's only so that I don't accidentally break anything. But this is one of the big things that I have to get done in order for this project to continue as well as it's going so far. I don't necessarily have to do all over there right now. But I do have to get this area done so that I can keep working. Oops. Oh. Oh. Ah. Damn it. Hey, Control Z. Undo. How come I can't undo? What the heck? I need to undo this. That's really annoying. Why can't I undo that? That's just the first upset of the day. Second upset is I should have brought water because I just ate a bunch of Whoppers. And not the burgers. I mean the malted milk balls. I don't even like McDonald's. Or, McDonald's. Is McDonald's the one with the Whopper? Is that Burger King? I don't even know. I don't even know. Okay. That's my failing right there. I don't know enough about American fast food. I'm not an American. I'm actually a communist, guys. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. There's a reason I knew how the Olympics was going to happen. Putin told all of us. It was all rigged. Just kidding. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not that conspiracy theorist. Aw, damn it. I'm not that bad. Wait, how come... What on earth? How come this is still... I don't understand how this is done anymore. I thought undo just undid the last thing you did, not something random. Oh wait, now I remember that bug. It's all coming back to me now. Alright, so let's just clear up, not all of this, because I don't want to demolish the summit of the mountain. And I don't want to get too close. I could have cranked up the radius even more, I'm not sure why I didn't. Just maybe because I wanted to be a little bit more precise. I'm going to use this as a template for something as well, so let's flatten this out here. And then let's actually fill in this area with that level. And I'm changing up the way I'm doing things here after the fact. Now, this time I don't really need to be that precise. Although over here I might have wanted to. Alright, fill in this area. Oh yeah. There we go. Flat. Let's plan out the spline for this mountain going this way. Why am I using the narrow gauge track? Oh, and this needs to be way more towards the middle, like over here somewhere. So we're planning the spline of the top of the mountain, which will eventually end here. But, let's see what this looks like. I wonder if the different widths of track are actually different, what's the word? Widths of terrain leveling, I guess? I'm not sure if that's a thing. But I'm sure I'm gonna figure it out eventually. So let's get our 4 meter standard bump that we almost always use anyways. And I'm gonna start on this side of the mountain, because this is the important side. I'm just gonna, do the important side. Also, no idea how much time we have, so I'm gonna save now. Yes. Good job. So let's drop the standard bump. I don't even know what that means. Someone shed some light on that guy. What is standard bump? What is the bump of a piece of track? Alright, move that to the edge to give it a bit of a better slope there. Alright, pretty decent, I guess. What I could do to make it a little bit better is this. But I really wish I had more time to devote to cuts, so I could cut this stuff out. But the time in between the cuts is what's really a killer. I'm not Zisto, and I don't have his magical button where it just gets stuff done. I actually have to do it all. And that takes a serious amount of time that I normally don't have. On the other hand, though, although I can't work on the railway in school, I can definitely write in school. And on terms of writing, the zombie train is coming along actually pretty well. When I reach Essex in the story, I'm not there yet, but I'm at one of the last major points before Essex, which is Glacier Park. Well, the first visit to Glacier Park. If you guys are familiar with Mariah's Pass, you'll know. If you don't, this is kind of all gibberish to you. But, point being, I am almost all the way up the mountain. I haven't put too much time into the coming back down bit, because I'm just not there yet in the writing. But, I'm at the, I'm at the going up bit still. I'm just working in the... That's weird. Why is it doing that? Where's my spline point? There you are. Whoa! Lost control of my camera. But yeah, going up the mountain, going up Mariah's Pass. At Glacier Park, which is almost at summit, at least by my standards, it's almost at summit, in terms of how the plot rolls. Unless I throw myself another curveball, which I've been doing this whole time. Anything I say is subject to change, so, But on another note, keep feeding me stuff, because someone the other day posted a suggestion. And, well, they posted a suggestion. I'm not really sure where I need to go from there with that. But my point is that they did post a suggestion. And it's something that... well... I'm not going to really go on the merits of an individual thing. I mean, this in particular is just... I mean, it's a cool concept that he posted. I mean, it's a... But no matter what gets up there, no matter what I say in response to it, everyone's just gonna have to wait until it pans out, because everything I say is subject to change. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with this, because I'll very often write myself into scenarios where I don't know what the ending is. And, I mean, that makes it quite a bit of fun, but that also makes it very difficult. And even more difficult to actually have someone, that you're telling about it, because then you can tell someone, and then you have to change it later and say, no, I wasn't actually going to do that. Especially if that someone is writing a piece alongside yours, which I was about to get to. What's going on right now is, well, working my way up Mariah's Pass. And there's a couple things that I could say in response to that, but I'm not going to. Or to accompany that, but I'm not going to. What I will say, though, is when I reach Essex in the writing, I'll be releasing a pair of stories. At least one. Hopefully a pair. Depends how this all pans out. I'll be releasing jeez, this just keeps getting worse. A story called Hell in Suburbia, which I'm not sure if I've put that up anywhere yet. If I have, then I guess it's already been released. But I don't think I've put it up anywhere. So, as far as I know, it hasn't been released. I've given it to one or two people so that they could proofread it or to show them, but whoa, that's big. Yeah. No official release on that. No official release time, by the way. It's just whenever I get to that. Because it's just something kind of to spur people on. I'm not sure if I want to release one at Essex and one at Kalispell. Because I don't know how long it's going to be, in writing from Essex to Whitefish. Which of course is the end of the route. Yeah, I don't actually know how long it's going to take me to write that distance. And then, of course, the actual recording for the thing is going to take even longer. I'm not sure how it's all going to play out, but I know what I should be doing is actually getting lines done now. Unfortunately, I don't want to call someone in and then have to call them back later. So I'm only going to have a couple of people come in. Also, I don't want to... I'm not sure what I've said on this before. I do need voice actors, but I don't, frankly, no offense to you guys, but I don't want your submissions in promoting yourself or promoting people you know. The reason being is I want to have the people with me, so that I'm not recording them over Skype and I don't have to be dependent on someone else's microphone quality or anything. As an added benefit to that, everyone's voice with the microphone will sound the same, so that we don't get a bunch of different microphone sounds in there, different volumes and things. That's god-awful. No, that's still god-awful. I'm probably not going to be able to do that very well. No! Yeah, no, so, whatever I was saying with the voicing. It's going to take me a bit to get everyone in, and then of course it's going to take me even longer to get not only the voice work done, but get the actual video work done, and record it and edit it all, and then put it together. I was trying to think of a way I could edit it to make it all, I guess, make sense while I'm working on it. Jesus, that scared the crap out of me. Again, it always does that. So as I was saying, I'm probably going to edit it chapter by chapter. I'll have each chapter individually, and then I'll do all the video editing for it, and then I'll add all the sound in, and then I'll save it. And I'll just save each chapter individually. And while I'm doing hard production, the videos, the speed at which I put videos out, I'm not saying it's going to drop, but I'm saying the length of the videos, the length of the videos may drop, because I will be running into time constraints and stuff. Some days I've been doing 2 videos, some days I've been doing 1. There are a couple of days of the week now where I just can't get any video work done, or hardly any at all, like time that I could be spending processing videos. I'm also kind of limiting myself in terms of how many audio files I keep on stock at a given moment, how many video files I keep on stock at a given moment. The reason for this is if I have more than one, I'll tend to delete some by accident and screw everything up. I've done it before. Yeah, it's just a bad day when that happens, because then I'm sitting there like, damn it. And not to mention, that's just like an hour of work down the drain as well. Although, to be honest, it's not really work. I need to find another train of thought to get on right away. I'm probably going to come back around to the zombie train. I love talking about it, but it's quite difficult not to spoil anything by accident by talking about it. I'm just going to come around to suggestions one more time. If you have, I've had a couple of outlandish ones and a couple of ones that I rather like, just not publicly, of course. I have a couple of unusual ideas myself to throw in. And some of them are gonna make it in, some of them are not. It's all just what I run into when I'm writing up to that point. Because I've gotten to a point where something is supposed to happen, and I can't make it happen. I have to go back and change something in order to make that happen, or I just need to abandon it entirely, find another place to put it, or something silly like that, where I'm just physically unable to get a part into the story that should be there. Or I need to add a couple of things to the story to make it, I guess, more wholesome, or make it make sense more. Or to flesh out a character. I've been working a bit on my character development for this, which was something that was most definitely not my forte. In fact, I had a friend who, basically, it was her job to come up with characters, and then we were going to use them in a story, but she loses everything, so... yeah, no, we didn't end up doing that story because she lost all the stuff for it. Which frustrates me to this day, because I very much liked how it was going. And I still have the characters, I just haven't used them. I don't have any of the notes for them. But I have them written in on a 14-page bit that was supposed to be my entry. The part where it introduces my character. This is Admiral Ellis stuff I'm getting into, actually. But I have the 14-page entry of my character, and then that's it. It has a little bit of her characters, and that's how I remember the few that are there. There are other ones that I don't remember, and of course I don't remember any of their personalities, their wardrobes, their everything that she does for her characters, which is crazy, the amount of detail. But you know, she gets that way with her characters, I get that way with my starships, so... For the record, I have a detailed interior cockpit and exterior of the Bat Out of Hell, which is a ship from my stories, which you can check out on the Admiral Ellis channel, link in the description. God, now I said that, I'm gonna have to remember to put it in the description. I'm gonna forget. She loses everything, I forget everything. If one of us could hang on to this stuff, either mentally or physically, it would have turned out a lot better. Same again. I don't know how much time we have again. We've been going for what, 25 minutes or so? We've made some good progress over here. This is starting to shape up. I might not do the back of the mountain here, because I have this area right here. I don't need to pay attention to that. Well, I need to do this again, right here. Other than that, I don't really care. This is actually turning out pretty well. I like it. I'm just not sure how I'm going to go about this section right here. Well, I'm going to move this. Definitely can't answer that right now either. Move this and do that. Oh, let's move this back. Undo all that. Oh! Lost control of the camera again. Please, sir, if you could maintain control of your camera. That'd be very nice. Alright, so let's reach down in there and pull this up a little bit. Nope, nope, not yet. Down a little bit. All set. Oh, we're getting somewhere. We are really getting somewhere. Thanks again to the guy who suggested the Rounded Mountains tutorial. Because without it, I never would have really gotten into this. I might have eventually, but you certainly sped up the process. Alright, so that seems pretty good. It's almost a roller coaster-esque hill right there. What I'm going to do to make this a little bit easier is do this. Or to make this a little bit nicer, rather. Easier on the eyes. What's that? That looks pretty good. What's funny is I was about to make the Halo 3 reference for a brick. He flew pretty good. But I realized I made that in a Kerbal Space Program episode. That'll be next Thursday. If everything goes to plan, of course. It better be next Thursday, or else something's wrong. But, yeah, no, I made that reference. Fun little line. Shout out to Sergeant Johnson again. What else can I talk about this week? I don't really feel like talking about the train game, because I've gotten too far from, Oops. No. Let's redo that one. I feel like I've gotten not too far from it to start talking about it, but I feel like I've talked for too long about something else to jump into that right now, because I know it's going to be a huge topic. And I really need to start writing stuff down for it. And if you guys took notes, that's nice. Because it probably, at that point, you probably know more than I do. No, that looks god-awful. Never doing that again. Alright, so raise that up, move it on over. I believe I made a reference to that song as well. And the only reason I know it is I kept hearing it on the radio when my iPod was, well, out of commission for a little while. When I used the radio for like 2 weeks. And I use the radio in my car too much because the power antenna is broken. Now, you know, I can do better than that. Everything has to have a slight lump in it. And then it looks infinitely better. That's not getting better. Slightly better. I think I'm going to have to go through this mountain manually afterwards and smooth that out a little bit. Or just use the coloring tools to make it look alright. Because right now, yeah, it's a little bumpy, but I can color it to make it look like it's supposed to be a little bumpy. And this trestle is in a good place. Yeah, this is coming out quite well. Let's just finish off this corner of a mountain here and, save. So I'm no longer worried about the thing desynchronizing on me saving. However, I am worried about desynchronizing myself. If you recognize last episode what happened... No, last episode was the one with the terribly bad mic. I think I've fixed that. If I haven't, there's really no way for me to tell until I back out of this and see that the mic has gone terabad. No, that's not my fault, nor is it the microphone's fault. It's actually Audacity that keeps readjusting the settings for every time I do something different with my voice. I don't understand why it can't just pick settings and stick with them. I've always selected settings and then I've gone into videos with Audacity up in the background and I've watched it move the little pointers as I'm talking. And I'm thinking, hey, I set those that way for a reason. And then my voice goes all nuts in the audio recording. And there's really nothing I can fix with that. I mean, even when I do... See, that's the thing. If you lose your audio, you actually can go about it and do post-commentary, of course, and then finish off like that and make that your video. If you lose your video, you're just boned. Because without it, it's a podcast. Although this, however, is quite a podcast in terms of what I'm actually doing, because I'm hardly talking about what I'm doing, considering this isn't exactly groundbreaking stuff anymore. When I get into some place where I'm going to be doing something unusual, then I'll start talking about it a lot more. But right now it would just be, I'm placing some rails. I screwed up placing the rails. That's not how you place rails, folks. This is how you place rails. You do that too, and then you move this so that it isn't directly up against the thing. I don't care, I didn't change it. Then you do that, and voila, you have a mountain. Excellent job, men. That was a Sarge line in a, unusual voice. Speaking of voices, maybe think of 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 never actually had a voice. I don't even know what voice I was gonna use for him. But I'm not sure why I decided to start doing that, and then it got a little hectic. Also, when the crashes started happening, it started hindering my ability to record multiple segments, especially after when I started using Audacity and this microphone. It also stopped my ability to do that because I'd need to do everything in post, and I hate post editing. I really do. I mean, I do that in some things. I've done that in a couple of Inferno Minds episodes. By the way, the last one is coming out on Monday. Well, not the last one per se, but the last actual fighting episode. And then we're gonna go through and do a post-game thing, and then I'm gonna ask what map you want to see next. I was thinking either, I'm not sure about Lethamyr, but I did have it in mind, or Ruins of the Mindcrackers, was something that was, well, the V2. Or whenever Zisto comes out with his, what is it gonna be called? Globule V3? Globule? Something like that. Zisto's map. I'd play that. Alright, good. This is fantastic. This is nicely done. I mean, it's only half a mountain, but don't judge me. Some people can only get half a mountain. What? Alright, because I'm not entirely sure with what we're going to do over here, and back here is not exactly imperative, let me save first, just in case. Yes. I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to work on the back here, and then when I'm done with the back here, I'm going to cut the episode. And then when I come back next week, I'm going to work on the area over there near, what is it? Capst Peak, I think? Or, what? I'm not sure if Capst Peak is a thing. I just may have made that up. Might be, no, Tudor's Mountain is over in the clay fields. Isn't it? Let me get my map, hold on. That's the wrong map. There we go. That little tear at the end, I can see it. Yeah, no, it's Capst Peak. Which sounds a lot better than the Capst Mountain or Capst Summit. Actually, Capst Summit sounds alright. I'd go there. There. Yeah. That's it. I'm all set. I'm all set for today, guys. We made a good episode. We got a lot done. We got this mountain done. But, Capst Peak is, for the record, this guy over here. Highest mountain in the, surrounding area. Well, actually, technically, it's higher than this. But I'll have to work to that. This is just where I stopped, if you recall. And we're gonna have to, build ledges down to this thing. As per the usual. But it's gonna be a fun little ride when we come up here and this thing's all said and done. The Capst Cutoff, as it were. Yeah, I'm all set. There's always next week to work on things. We got a lot done today, as I said, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you next week. Trainman out.